What's going on YouTube? Once again, another Fantasy Blitz show for y'all. It's your boy Frankie J. Don't mind the hair. I ain't get to do nothing with it. But as always, we got Corey, got the little brother Kev. And this episode, we about to talk about players we're going to avoid this year in the draft. All right? We're going to go around the whole position list, but not all of them. We're going to go with QBs, running backs, and wide receivers. We was debating tight ends, but tight ends are too scarce, so there's no point for that. So wherever they land, we would pick them up anyway. So I'm going to start with my first QB to avoid. I'm going to go with Ryan Tannehill. Now, I think the man is getting a little older. His prime years are definitely behind him. One interesting stat that I found on him was going back 2 years ago. So let's go back to the 2020 season. He had 7 interceptions. Last year, he doubled that, 14. Granted, I think he only played one less game the year prior, but you doubled your interceptions. You went from 33-7, so that's 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in 2020. 2021, you went 21 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Some people may have made the argument about Derrick Henry not being there or whatever, but now they have to slowly rely on Ryan Tannehill, and he didn't produce as well. So that's one quarterback I'm going to avoid. Usually where he goes in the draft, he'll go around like that mid-range quarterbacks that are available, like him, maybe Matt Ryan might be there, Jameis Winston, Trevor Lawrence, But I'd rather pick up any of those guys rather than Ryan Tannehill. I'm avoiding him. And if I can't get those guys around him, I'll wait for like a Jared Goff, Carson Wentz. I really don't want no parts of the man. Let's go with you, Kev. Give me a quarterback you're going to avoid.
Quarterback I'm going to avoid is a no-brainer for me. Is Justin Fields. I just feel like the offense is still in its premature stages, from coaching to the quarterbacks and then even down to the receivers. It's a very young offense. I won't say not talented. They're talented, but at the same time, you got to utilize these guys to their strength. Second year, new coach. I don't see what exactly they're cooking up or what's the game plan, because I couldn't even see how you're gonna game plan. Winning the ball by throwing it. Because I'm pretty sure you're gonna go through the run game first, and then probably utilize play action to give Justin Fields some open space and get guys open downfield. But I just don't think it's enough to even have any production, even at the wide receiver 2. Maybe wide receiver 3, you just want to stash him and see if anything good comes out of it. But I just don't have any real faith in Justin Fields having a great year and be worthy of a quarterback 2 in a super flex or any type of value beyond that.
So my thing about Justin Fields is, I agree with you. I don't think I'm gonna touch him. But granted, last year was his rookie year. He didn't play as much because he was still playing behind. Was it Trubisky? Was it? No, Andy Dalton. And obviously Andy Dalton was not the answer for the team. He showed spurts, and I feel like the major upside for Fields is his legs. You know what I mean? He could definitely escape the pocket and run. So maybe that may be the upside. But last year was a rookie. You never know. This year it could be his sophomore breakout. You don't have any faith in him on that. Granted, there's no Nagy no more. So maybe that might help.
Who's coaching the Bears though?
I don't even remember the nigga's name.
Who?
The Chicago Bear coach. I forgot the dude's name.
Matt Eberflus or something like that?
Eberflus? He's coaching the Bears? For real?
Yeah.
Hey, man, shout out to Eberflus, man.
I don't even know who that nigga is.
He was a Cowboys special teams coach.
Oh, that's why you know his ass.
Yeah, man. Good for him, man.
But, last year, those games he did start wasn't crazy. He had probably, 4 good games. Week 8 against San Fran, he had 26 points. Week 9 against Pittsburgh, he had 19. Week 14 against Green Bay, he had 20. And Week 15 against Minnesota, he had 16. So that's not horrible, you know what I mean? Especially for now that he's definitely going to get the starting position. Don't have to worry about Andy Dalton, new coaching. I mean, is that really a player you think you should still avoid, Kev?
I mean, like, I don't like taking chances, especially when there's, like, money on the line. Like, if you're going to...
Nigga, but ain't that what gambling is, nigga? Taking chances with money on the line, nigga?
Okay, but there's like safe gambling, and then you're just gonna throw all your money away in one shot. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, you're right.
I want it.
But now in our league, obviously with our format, we do a super flex, so that would include a second quarterback's position if we wanted to. Now the only thing is, my point to you is like if you're gonna avoid him, you would even avoid him as your QB number 2.
I think you can get somebody better than Justin Fields. I think that you should get somebody better than Justin Fields. You shouldn't be set on Justin Fields being a quarterback too, because you're walking into inconsistency, and then after that, then what? You know, the points are going to shoot you in the foot. Like you could get somebody else, a better quarterback. If you want to go with another receiver, running back, or tight end, go ahead. If you want to be, you know, just for insurance and get somebody who actually is going to produce on a weekly basis instead of somebody who's going to have up and down numbers and you don't know whether or not, you know, the production is going to be there. And I'm not even sure if they have the best schedule this year anyway. So, I mean, you take Detroit twice, sure, but we'll see how that goes. But like I said, it's just you're walking into inconsistency, and I don't think you want to take that. That's not a safe bet. Like, if you want to plug them in when they play Detroit, sure. But after that, outside of that, what are you going to do? Like, he's not going to go crazy against Green Bay. Like, you're not looking at crazy numbers. The only time he's going to produce is if he gets rushing touchdowns.
And he had 26 points against San Fran.
He had 26, yeah, and he had 20 against Green Bay. I mean, against Green Bay, he had 74 rushing yards.
He didn't your scope right there, bro.
He had 74 rushing yards. He didn't have a touchdown and still scored 20 points against Green Bay. And then in against San Fran, he had 26, ran for 103 yards, had 1 touchdown. So, like, the upside is there for that. I understand your inconsistency thing, but since it's a super flex, you don't have to necessarily play him that week.
He was a rookie.
I understand, and I said that, but like I don't see if out of 10 games he does good twice. What's the point of that? Like I'm gonna draft somebody for 2 games.
You think he's only gonna do good two times in 10 games?
You get somebody like a Matt Ryan.
You for real think he's only gonna do like good 2 times out of 10 games?
That's what he did. That's what you guys are telling me. He played
He
did 20 points twice.
He started halfway throughout the season. He was hurt. He was a rookie.
And some of those games where he didn't play well, he came mid-game. You know what I mean? Now the full games he played, it was probably like six of them. And four of them he did pretty decent. 14, 26, 19, 20, 16. You know what I mean? Yeah, the 14's not good, but if you get a 16 out of a rookie, that's good, especially now that he's a sophomore. Maybe that comes up more. But, I mean, hey, that's your opinion. I get it. I mean, I think I might avoid him, but coming down to it.
I'm not going out to get him.
Yeah. But my
Mm.
thing is, like, if he's there and he's my option to get at QB2 and I don't have to necessarily play him any given week, bro, I might just fuck around and do it. Just because now I play matchups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, all right. So, Corey, you give me another quarterback that you're going to avoid.
I'm going to avoid Mitchell Trubisky. Right now he's the starter for the Steelers, but my boy Kenny Pickett's gonna come over and take that job from him hopefully soon.
This is obviously after we watched preseason 1.
Yeah, perfect drive. I'm not a believer in Trubisky. I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's like a starting quarterback.
So you're saying like basically you're avoiding him because you're automatically assumption that he's gonna end up losing his starting job.
And even when he's going to be playing, I don't think he's going to be average at best.
Average at best? But, I mean, what would average be? Like 14, 15 points a game?
10 points.
10 points? Sheesh. That's what fucking Baker Mayfield did to me last year. Fuck you, Baker.
bigger known with the void list.
Excuse me. Yeah, but I mean, I get that. I don't think I would even touch any of them. So
yeah, because the way if I'm not reaching for a quarterback, I'll just wait till the end for a quarterback. So these are the quarterbacks that will be available, and I do not want Trubisky.
He said, "No way, Mitch Trubisky.
Not at all.
No way, no way." All right, I'll give you another quarterback I'm gonna avoid. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence. So after week 1 of the preseason, actually he didn't do bad. He did not do bad. But my thing of basically is going back to last year. I feel like this year should really count as his rookie year, because last year they thought they could put a college team together and think they could do something in the NFL. Didn't happen. Didn't fucking happen. I don't know what they thought was gonna happen. Urban Meyer fucking they didn't even let him finish the season, and they'd be like, "Yo, get the fuck out of here." I would have said the same thing. Their offense is kind of unknown because obviously with Travis Etienne back, I like him, but we don't know what he's gonna do in the NFL yet because obviously he was hurt all last year. They got a couple new pieces. They end up signing Christian Kirk to some money too. So, I think Christian Kirk might be on my radar like a late round flyer, but I don't think I could do that. I think his only upside was about like his rushing yards because he can do it on his legs, and he was 8th in QBs and when it came to rushing yards. So that leaves some probability that maybe he could do decent enough, but last year he didn't do much, and basically me going off of him with his rushing yards is the only thing we have to look forward to him. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Their offensive line was also still a question mark. The man got sacked 38 times. How bad is that? Going back to what I said about Ryan Tannehill, he was sacked 47 times. So you're looking at the top the top 3 quarterbacks that were sacked most in the NFL. So Trevor Lawrence, I know they added some things, but at the end of the day, they have to show me. You're gonna have to show me something. Y'all got anything to add about that? Cause
the same way I feel about Justin Fields, same way I feel about Trevor Lawrence.
So you would give him a chance?
Yeah. If we get in the draft, when we're drafting, we thought you had that superstar potential. It takes time for that thing to blossom.
It does, but I feel like next year may not be that time. The next year is probably the time that he's actually learning. Because last year, I don't think he learned shit.
Yeah, but even if it's not that time, you can still have put up good numbers. That's what people always forget. Even if your team is bad, you still can put up numbers. This is fantasy football at the end of the day. Shout out to Blake Bortles.
Shout out to fucking Gardner Minshew.
Like, you can still put up numbers. I think he's gonna put up numbers. I think is it? No, it's not McDermott. Never mind.
We talk about coach.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson. Yeah.
Peterson. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The fucking offense is a question mark to me.
He's gonna have his boy ETN back. He'll be back in college.
That's the good thing.
He's got receivers. He's got talent on the outside.
Yeah, but who they got? Marvin Jones, Christian Kirk. They lost DJ Chark, but then who's
Shaviska?
Laviska Shenault.
Yeah. I think we got Agnew.
Yeah, they do still have Agnew. I don't know what that thing was.
He's got talent. I don't know. I believe in Trevor Lawrence, so I would definitely take a flyer on him.
Sunshine.
Yeah,
Kev, you got something else to say or not?
He's on for me, he's on a positive side of what he did last year, because he knows how to keep his eyes downfield. He's not making basic throws. He's willing to throw the ball downfield and hit the guy on a deep route, or even take a shot on the side of the field. But sure, like I said, if you want to take a guy because the fantasy points or whatever, but at the same time, there's a risk of consistency because obviously when you throw more interceptions and touchdowns, you couldn't be doing great on a week-to-week basis, and it's true because I had Trevor Lawrence on my team last year, so
he's got PTSD. That's what he's got. He's got PTSD.
Yeah, there's no true agenda to picking him up. So to me, I'm avoiding him. I don't have an agenda to pick you up. or if I see like you know what I mean, like I truly believe that you really have value, and you need it to be avoided. Like there's no you're tricking yourself to believing that this guy's going to do something for you. So it's an avoid for me.
All right. So then give me another quarterback you're gonna avoid.
I'm going to go with Zach Wilson.
Fuck you. Don't talk about my boy
No.
like that, nigga. Fuck you.
He just got hurt from his preseason game against the Eagles.
Ain't no ACL tear. Motherfuckers thought it was an ACL tear. Get it correct, all right? It was a bruised bone knee and a slightly torn meniscus, all right? They said 2 to 4 weeks. He may come back week 1, if not week 2. So, fuck all y'all haters. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, like whatever. You could, like, the concept of what I'm trying to say is just players to avoid. I understand rookies and sophomore slumps and see if they're gonna come back and make a good year. So
Yeah, because that's what it seems like. You chose Justin Fields and then now Zach Wilson. You're going with rookies of last year. You know what I mean? Not every rookie does well.
But all you do is talk them up. You all talk them up, saying, "Yo, you know who's gonna do this good this year? You know, I think I might draft this year. You know who's on the radar? Like it's all over ESPN. You know, and like players to watch out for. You know, sleepers, all this type of stuff. So why can't you talk about them not doing great? Because you're gonna look like an idiot because you talked them up in the off season and then you picked them and he didn't do anything for you. And then you're gonna get mad, start making videos.
Or you talk them down and they become superstars.
Yeah, you know what I mean? This is a double dice coin on that.
Because you look in the past, man, you got no forward vision, man. If you keep going off last year's models, you're gonna stay in last year. You're gonna stay in last place. Or middle place, wherever you finish at. You gotta have projection. You gotta see what's forward. You gotta see where the trends are. You gotta see what the team schemes are.
It doesn't matter.
You should be checking out every single minicamp, every single podcast, every fucking team. See who they pet cats are.
We're not talking about how good this guy's gonna be, how bad this guy's gonna be, whether he's a rookie or vet, blah blah blah. Because like, who you gonna pick? You gonna nitpick and say I'm gonna avoid so and so because of what? It's the same difference. These are names that fuck up that you see in the magazines, that you see on the websites that say this player might be headed into some good season because he has some offensive powers on his side. Like sure, you can say that, but at the same time, I'm still trying to keep it realistic. I'm not sitting on no hype. I don't care if you're QB2. If you want to stash him on your bench, sure. I don't know how deep your bench is or what your league runs or whatever. Team league, but these are players that I'm still not going to sell myself for to go pick them up or wait and say,
nigga, sell your soul and draft Justin Fields.
Mayfield to wait till Zach Wilson gets there or something like that. Like I'm not going crazy over that.
You go crazy over Mariota though.
I didn't say I was going crazy over Mariota.
We see your background, nigga. Of course you're gonna go crazy over Mariota. So you wouldn't. So wait. So you're telling me you would avoid Zach Wilson, but you wouldn't avoid Mariota?
Did I say I was picking up Mariota?
No. But now I'm asking.
I didn't say.
I didn't say what you said. I'm asking a question. Would you avoid Mariota along with Zach Wilson?
Sure. Why not? Like I said, I'm not picking up Marcus Mariota. Like I never said I would pick Marcus Mariota over so and so. I want to get Marcus Mariota. I never said that.
Just asking questions. Just asking questions.
We're just asking questions, nigga. Don't need to sue. Don't sue. All right. We're just saying.
Tua or Trevor Lawrence?
I'd say Tua.
I would say Tua.
Of course. I feel like you have to. Yeah. You have to.
But I just don't trust him for some reason. I liked him coming out. I was a big fan of him coming out, but I don't trust him.
So my thing is, just to be diverse for you, Kev, the reason why we mentioned Mariota is because your 2 picks were rookie quarterbacks last year. You know what I mean? You could have put diversity and said a quarterback that's been in the league for however versus a guy, and that was a rookie last year. But you went straight ahead with 2 rookies when we could be saying, like, why not avoid a nigga like Mariota? We already seen what he can do. We only had a glimpse of what Zach Wilson can do. So it's like, I don't know if it's time to say to avoid him, but it is your opinion. But I'm just saying, at least we still haven't seen what Zach Wilson has done. But Mariota we've seen.
Look, they're sophomores. Like, sure, I understand. They're quarterbacks. You wanna throw you're gonna throw the kitchen sink at them to try to tell you that, look, you can't just like don't pick these guys because they're sophomores. They didn't have anything last year. I'm like, yo, sure, but there's plenty of hype behind them for people to keep hyping up and say, yo, you could probably do good in the Q as so and so is a QB too. But with that said, like, just remember all the other names that were there before who actually did good, like Kyler Murray, that you could have drafted when he came out in his rookie year, or guys like
yeah, but Kyler Murray was number 1 overall. You can't compare that.
They're different tiers.
Zach Wilson went like number 4 overall in the draft. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I was talking about like in a fantasy sense, because like Kyler Murray's gonna be like a top 3 round pick, I guess. And these are more like middle round picks.
I didn't hear what you said.
That's why I said, Kev, wait, Kev, grab your headphones, because this is why I was telling you always grab your headphones, because you won't be able to hear us through your laptop. But all I'm saying is, this man, Kyler Murray, is a whole different level from Zach Wilson. And yes, you're going to make the point about, Baker Mayfield, but we're talking about from the fantasy standpoint. And we didn't know exactly what Kyler Murray was going to do his rookie year. So people would pick him, and then he did great. But not all rookie quarterbacks do great. But I'm just saying, not all rookie quarterbacks do great. And then all of a sudden they have a great bounce back their second year, and now you're like, oh shit.
But what? But you're not telling me anything. I'm telling you that there's hype. There's hype. People saying that you should go this way. I'm saying I'm not going this way. You can. Like, you believe in yourself and you do what you want to do. But it's my player to avoid. And I'm not believing in the hype. I think it's just noise.
What is this hype you keep saying? Like, I don't think people are hyping these people up.
Like, you're a good player.
Who's hyping these people up?
For me, I'm not sold on that.
Cav, who's hyping these people up? Where are you hearing like everybody's like, oh, draft Trevor Lawrence before Kyler Murray?
All right, right here.
See, this is y'all niggas' problems, man. These people are marketing to you.
What you mean? Let me read this right here.
All right, Kev. There's Kev. There's a difference between hyping a nigga up, meaning like, yo, he's gonna be the greatest. He's gonna be this second year of that. Versus. No, but I'm saying versus somebody saying that this could be his breakout season. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
What? And I said I'm going to avoid him. What's the problem?
No. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's just...
So go ahead.
It's not a problem, but I feel like you're putting this hype as if, like, niggas is, like, saying go out to go get Zach Wilson. They're just telling you. They're just telling you, like, he could be.
I'm not... You talk like they're not being talked
When we ask you about your avoidance, you're saying it because everybody's hyping them up.
You're talking about Travis Etienne. Let me see if I can get you to see this paper right here.
Nah, it's
it's blending in. Your green screen is messed up.
Second-year players. Most intriguing second-year players.
Your green screen is messing it up, Kev. There's no point. You can't see it.
So most intriguing means they're overhyped?
That's not talking somebody up?
Is that overhyping? Or is that most intriguing?
I said it's hype.
It's intriguing. It's intriguing.
I said hype.
Intriguing. It's intriguing. It's interesting.
So you think it's saying, oh, Justin Fields is obviously this, that. Like, what do you think they're saying?
I can't know what it's saying. I'm not reading an ESPN article based on they're trying to get clicks. They don't care about what they're writing on there. You know that, right? They're trying to get clicks.
It's intriguing, so you're not somebody going to.
Kev, they're trying to get clicks.
So why do I need to draft them? Because I'm not going to do it. I don't care what you say. I'm not doing
that.
You're a sophomore, and I said because they're talking about him in ESPN and magazines and saying that he might. Have
ESPN article that you put it out, bro. Come on, man.
I can't.
That's on the website, bro.
With me saying that.
So
I don't see what's the problem with me saying.
No. Ain't nobody saying there's a problem. What we're trying to say
is.
You
defend it. We want you to defend it besides getting defensive.
Yeah.
I said players still avoid it. I'm avoiding it. That's it.
Yeah. But I'm saying, but you can't use.
You read the article.
No, but I'm saying if it's your opinion, your opinion to avoid him, then you wouldn't need anybody else. No, but I'm saying no. Kev, let me just say this. Well, it is your opinion to avoid him, but that means also if it's your opinion to avoid him, then you don't need anybody else's opinion about hyping, being intriguing either. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna stay away from him because
what are you getting at? I can't read an article that you're trying to tell me.
No. But your opinion, I don't read it. No. We're saying your opinion, Kev. We're not trying to say who's influenced. We never asked who influenced you.
Look.
Cool. Disagree with my opinion. See what I do.
I'm avoiding them. You do what you do. I don't care what you have to say. You read your articles and you do what you do. Don't worry about what I say.
I mean, we're only going by stats. That's the only reason why I said that. But you're right. That's your opinion. I'm only get defensive because that's my quarterback. All right, that's my quarterback. All right, so. Fuck what you talking about, but that's my quarterback. All right, he coming back week 1. Fuck all you niggas. All right. Before that take too long, all right, see, give me one more QB you avoiding.
Carson Wentz.
All right, blood.
Carson Wentz. Blood. I do not trust him. I don't trust him.
That's it?
Pretty much. The Commanders, they have McLaurin, have Dotson, I guess. They still have Thomas.
I don't even know.
Logan Thomas is trash anyway. He's a failed quarterback. I don't see them being an offensive team that you will want to attach anything to your team with.
Okay, so
I can't see them scoring more than 24 points a game.
So you know how I was throwing the comparison before about Ryan Tannehill being in the middle of the pack around whatever, mm-hmm. And I wait for niggas around like Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, those niggas. Are you picking Ryan Tannehill or fucking Carson Wentz?
Oof. I guess I would go Tannehill because he has if I had to pick between those two, it would be Tannehill because Tannehill has a prior history of being a top 5 QB. Even though I don't think that's nowhere repeatable.
Okay.
But at least he has a chance. I don't think Wentz has a chance at all to do that. I think Wentz was in a perfect situation last year.
He was. He had a great team. Didn't do shit with it.
Great team, great line. Could have beat the Jaguars.
Hey, I mean, who lost against the Jaguars? The Bills lost against the Jaguars too.
Yeah, but they weren't fighting to get into the playoffs. It wasn't win this game or win the fucking playoffs.
Okay. My thing is
Carson Wentz don't got it in him.
My thing is Carson Wentz. I looked at the Commanders. I almost said Redskins. Commanders schedule. Their schedule is not hard. You know what I mean? And they're playing in NFC East. No offense to you niggas,
I don't trust strength of schedule at all because it's all based on last year's teams and these are totally new teams.
True, but I mean the Giants. You think that's a totally whole new team?
Yeah.
A totally whole new good team?
I don't think it'll be good, but I think it's a new team. So I don't know. They could. I mean, who knows, man? They got a lot of young, speedy wide receivers. They could. I mean, they could fuck us up. I don't trust our quarterbacks at all, but that's another story.
He's a Cowboys fan, so I mean that's why I'm getting more of an insight from
Brian
him.
Daboll. I like Brian Daboll. I like what he did with Josh Allen. Josh Allen wasn't Josh Allen until Brian Daboll came into the picture.
True. My thing is, I feel like if I'm waiting for those last tier of quarterbacks, bro, and Carson Wentz is there as my QB2, I'm gonna pick him up because I feel like, regardless of what you can say, Carson how bad he was, he's an average.
Mac Jones.
Oof. I'd have to go Mac. I hate the Patriots. I hate the fucking Patriots. Yeah, I have to go Mac. I can't do that to myself. But at the same time, it's like there's something there about Carson Wentz just because of the strength of schedule. And yes, you're right. We don't know about the new teams this year or whatever the case may be. But if we were going anywhere close to those stats, I feel like, he could make some noise as a QB2. You know what I mean?
You talking about in our league or just?
Well, let's just say our league as of right now, because we are the super flex. You know what I mean?
I guess so, but when those 3 weeks of him getting under 10 points happen, you're gonna want to shoot somebody.
Nigga, what do you think I did last year? Fucking Tua and fucking Baker Mayfield fucked me so bad. Still won though. See that chip? Still see that?
That's mine. I'm winning this year.
Yeah, this nigga's drunk. All right, so that's gonna be enough for the QBs. Let's start with you, Kev. Give me a running back you avoiding.
Devin Singletary.
All right.
Just way too much going on in Buffalo between Josh Allen and the running backs in that committee. So for his draft stock, I can't do it. I can't put an investment in Devin Singletary. I mean, if I was gonna do it, I'm taking Zach Moss and James Cook with me. But to me,
Fuck
it's
Zach
just
Moss.
really no point to even like drafting Devin Singletary, especially if there's a single chance that he might lose his job to either to James Cook, or maybe if and he's probably the starter. You probably won't lose it to Zach Moss, but
Nah, he's not
at
gonna.
least he's on the field more than Zach Moss.
Yeah, Zach Moss. I don't think
No,
it's even gonna be a factor. I don't think Zach
Singletary
Moss is.
finished the year pretty strong, and if like Josh Allen can't run these touchdowns forever, right? That's my only thing. Like, if he stops running these touchdowns, that'll make Singletary like a
I mean,
solid RB2.
ain't that what happened with Cam Newton? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
eventually he had to
both
stop.
Like, Josh Allen's a big motherfucker, man. He's a
He's
big,
6'5", nigga. I didn't realize that he was 6'5".
6'5", like 250.
Bro,
He's a big motherfucker.
That is a big nigga, bro.
But sooner or later, he can't be trucking people,
Still,
whether it's
it's
this
just-
year or 2 years from now.
What are you gonna
He's
say,
still
Kevin?
young in his career. It's like, yeah, sure, you could throw that in there. If
But
you
he's
want
crazy
to,
too,
but
man.
He's still young in his career.
He want to
You
truck
still
people.
got Lamar Jackson doing what it do on the ground. I'm just saying, if they got somebody quarterback who's gonna run, they're gonna utilize it until
Yeah.
it's no good to their team. But it's just for me, it's an avoid for Singletary because I'm not putting any type of investment in picking up, Singletary. Unless he was falling in the late rounds, sure. Like, you want to take that chance and you can get James Cook to go with it. Sure. I had the Singletary last year, and it's just week after week of disappointment. until the second half of the
PTSD,
season came out.
PTSD, PTSD.
So it's just like I'm personally not doing that.
I like James Cook a lot, too.
It's
So-
an avoid for me.
So I think we're all in agreement about that Devin Singletary thing. Me and Corey are actually really big on James Cook. So especially at his worth, his value right now, probably in the drafts, probably going around 11 or later. So it's like, why the fuck not? They obviously picked him up because they don't believe in Devin Singletary in the passing game. So you're right about Josh Allen doing most of the running. So how many touches is Devin Singletary actually gonna have? But in the last, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Last 4 weeks of the season before the playoffs, he went off. 15 in week 15, 13 in week 16, 23 in 17, and 23 in 18. So like he was going off. But how steady was that during the playoffs? Not steady at all. So I think we're all in agreement. I am totally avoiding him. I don't even give a fuck how late he falls to me. I'm not touching him at all.
16th round, you're not taking him.
Hell no. Hell no. Fuck that guy.
That's
I'm
crazy.
taking James Cook before I see this motherfucker, bro.
I can agree with that, but I would still take him.
All right. I mean,
Last pick.
Last pick.
Last
And
pick
why you say why the fuck not? Because
Running
the
back
last
is the
pick
best fucking
fire.
offense? Yeah.
Well, why the fuck not, right? All right, see, give me a running back you avoiding.
Damian Harris.
Boing. Shaboing boing.
Boing boing. I just think he's due to regress. I think Ramondre Stevenson's gonna take over the third round. Third down pick. The third down role for the Patriots and wind up taking over that altogether. Bill Belichick is not loyal to any running backs. So
Ain't
I
that
don't
true?
think he's gonna be
Unless your
loyal
name was James White.
to Damian Harris. Yeah, James White. Because James White can block and he can catch. And I'm hoping Stevenson can do that. Harris's production was mostly like touchdown dependent.
Totally.
And I just... Unless you like that dude, I can't agree for that year to year.
So the only thing I can say about that is like I don't think I would avoid him. It would just be about placement where he lands in the draft for me. Do I see regression?
Over Harris.
Really? Wow. Hot take. My thing is I totally agree. Damian Harris is going to have a regression year, especially when it comes to touchdowns. He had 15 touchdowns. He was close to 1,000 yards, 929. So it wasn't
got hurt too.
Yeah, and got hurt. So, he did miss some games. I think he only played 15 games. So, if those 2 games he played, he probably could have reached over 1,000. But yet again, he's just one of those people who is definitely touchdown dependent. But my thing is, like, regardless of him being touchdown dependent or not, that means he's still the one getting the red zone carries. You know what I mean? Goal line. You know what I mean? They're still going to give him the ball. And I like Ramondre Stevenson, so don't get me wrong that, Ramondre Stevenson may not be able to take over that role. So I get that point, but I just feel like until he's ready to, Damian Harris is still getting those goal line carries. You know what I mean? So that touchdown regression will come down. It's not gonna be 15, but it could still be 9, and that's still a decent running back who's gonna be maybe a RB3, RB4 for you.
I don't think so, because the yards would go down too.
True.
I think they're gonna do a split back thing.
We'll see.
I really like Pierre Strong. They drafted Pierre Strong, so I already like him.
They got Pierre Strong. The Patriots got Pierre Strong.
Yeah. The dude from, what is it, Kent State or something like that?
Like a 4. He's super fast. I like him. I like Pierre Strong a lot.
Well,
I was going crazy with him in Madden 22.
So goes to your point that fucking they're not loyal to running backs, so you never fucking know.
Yeah.
I just feel like, what's his name?
Remember that Jonas Gray guy had 4 touchdowns on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, what the fuck? Who the fuck was that?
And then they just never played him again.
Yeah, who the fuck was that? But I feel like Ramondre Stevens is going to play that James White role. And if he does, that means we're going to probably be there to stay. And that means the receptions on this man is going to be crazy, so he's going to be a dual threat for you. And if he breaks some of those loose, boom, you never know. The Patriots... He could have a huge year. Yeah, he could have a huge year. But I don't think I would avoid Damian Harris.
I thought Pierre Strong was like on some team that didn't matter.
They do not matter. But I mean, I respect it. I don't think I would avoid him, but I respect it. All right, I'm gonna go with running back. One running back I'm gonna avoid is going to be Rashard Penny. So.
And the season's strong.
So, my thing about him is, obviously, everybody's aware, injury prone, da-da-da-da-da-da. So, my thing is, now that Chris Carson is gone, okay? Now he's supposed to be the number 1 running back. Can he actually handle that number 1 running back, like, workload? Because if he does, and we already had issues with him in the past about injury prone, and he wasn't even running back 1, what the fuck does that tell you now, I hate thinking like that for players, you know what I mean? You never know, this could be the year he doesn't get hurt, and boom, you're going to shut me the fuck up. I get it. But my thing is, can he handle it, okay? Ken Walker, they drafted him. I wouldn't be surprised if Ken Walker all of a sudden takes that number 1 role away from him. Rashard Penny and Ken Walker are probably literally right now, if you're mock drafting, probably going one after the other. So that just shows you total toss-up about what's going to happen in that backfield. So why would I take my chances on that and get Ken Walker? On top of that, my opinion is the Seattle Seahawks are going to probably be one of the worst teams in football this season. Just simple as that. Yes, Pete Carroll loves to run the ball, so yeah, the touch is going to be there for them. But if they're going to be that bad, how many times are they actually going to run the fucking ball? They're going to have to fucking air it out. And Drew Lock, you know what I mean? So at this point, I'm just going to make the statement. I'm staying away from all Seattle Seahawks players. Don't matter who it is. All of them. DK, I love you. Sorry. Not happening. All right, Kev, give me a running back you were going to avoid.
Miles Sanders.
He don't play for your fantasy football team. That's what he said. Remember that. I quote him.
What did you say?
I said Miles Sanders quoted that he doesn't play for your fantasy football team. So.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Fuck him.
He's like, it's ridiculous. It's like, you look at his stats and it's like, it's not like, sure, you're a football player, dude. Do what you do, and you do what you can. But in fantasy, like, his stats aren't even like eye popping. It's like, why did I even draft you stats? It's just like, he had the most touchdowns he ever had in one season was 6, and he did it twice in 19 and 20. But the only thing in 19, he had 3 receiving touchdowns. 26 touchdowns. Last year, 0. So he's Mr. Irrelevant to me. He's just there for no reason. I don't understand how he's getting drafted in the mid rounds anyway when he doesn't even do anything. It's just a waste of draft space. Like, I think I'll take Devin Singletary over Miles Sanders. I think I will take Devin Singletary over Miles Sanders.
After talking all that shit about that nigga, damn.
I'll take Rashard Penny over Miles Sanders. It's ridiculous how irrelevant this guy's been in fantasy, and they all want to talk about him. Or him being in the mid round, like what is this ADP suggesting? I feel like they didn't even run the ball to the second half of the season. The fans are yelling at the coach to run the damn ball. But I guess Jalen Hurts heard him more than Nick Sirianni and decided that he'll take off with his legs and put 10 tutties on the board with his legs. So, but it's just like, wow, you catfish. Miles Sanders catfish. You pick Miles Sanders. And they're already talking about Kenneth Gainwell looking good, this and that, saying they're going to utilize him more in the offense, I think, especially on passing downs or something like that, in like red zone situations. So, hey, I don't know. If you want to do it, you take that risk. I'm avoiding Miles Sanders all the way.
I feel you on that. I've been mock drafting my damn self, and every time he's like there, I look the other way, bro. I look the other way, or I pick below him.
Fell to the 10th round to me one time, so I had to.
10th round,
Yeah.
so you had to do it at that point. I feel you. 10th round, and be like, fuck it. You know what I
That's
mean?
when I was like drafting with people, not like
Fuck yeah.
like robots.
All right. Well, that was a good one, actually. Like, I can't even say like that. Both your running backs, Devin Singletary and Miles Sanders. I don't think like we would disagree. Except for the fact that like you know it would depend on spots for some of us. Like, I wouldn't even touch Devin Singletary at all, but he said if he fell late. But regardless, I get that. See, give me another running back you're going to avoid.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
CEH. Fuck him, too.
I never agreed with the draft pick in the first place. I don't know why I didn't take DeAndre Swift. But he just never has panned out.
Yo, I didn't even realize they had the chance to pick up Swift and they went CEH.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is? It's probably because of their scheme on, like, their passing.
Like yeah.
You know what I mean?
Still, I just didn't... He ran like a 4.7, man. Fuck that guy. He's never healthy. And, like, he has all the chances to be, like, good. And he hasn't.
Yeah, you're right.
So if it hasn't happened by now, it's not going to happen.
You're right.
They signed Ronald Jones. And they got the Rutgers great Isaiah Pacheco, so...
Rutgers great. So... Okay, so this is what I had said something like in past episodes before about that LSU team was like fucking elite. So I think they were just like, okay, everybody on that team is elite. We got to go get them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's probably why they went CEH. But they probably were kicking themselves in the ass right now. But like, yo, we should just went with Swift.
But Swift was like the year before. Like Swift was like the guy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess it was injuries or something like that. But still,
I don't like CEH. I don't know if I would avoid him. His ADP is probably not to my liking, but I don't say I would avoid him. Like, in our league, maybe a little different, especially with everybody else that might be drafting. You have other people that's going to, reach for their players where other players are going to end up falling. So I feel like CEH, for me, if he does end up falling at a good price for me, I'd pick him up. I don't think I would completely avoid him. But I'll tell you this much, he'd probably be my RB3 or 4. And I'm not going to lie to you, he probably wouldn't even be a flex consideration for me. He would just be there just in case I needed a bye week filler. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's kind of player.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, just a filler for a bye week.
That's the one you can't put your trust in.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm going to go with...
put these guys high.
Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead.
They always put these guys high. They always put them on pedestals. It's like, sure, I understand they're good. They did the thing in college and whatsoever, but they always put these guys in places like, why is your ADP there? Not that the guys behind
coming out, I was bigger than because I thought you put any like competent running back with in that offense, you should just like fall into like 1,200 yards total at least, like at worst. But yeah, you can't say healthy. He fumbled the ball. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
On goal
line. Right. I'm like, I'm avoiding you. You're not even making me want to pick you.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I don't like him. All right, I'm gonna go with another running back to avoid. It's gonna be Antonio Gibson. I think out of the whole Washington Commanders offense, I think there's only only two players I'd look at. Or, if they fell to me at a decent price or whatever the case may be, that I would even consider picking up. And that would be Terry McLaurin and Carson Wentz. Yes, he said he'd avoid him. That's on him. But I don't think I would avoid him, especially knowing that I could get him Carson Wentz real late. But Antonio Gibson, at his price, hell no. Suck a dick. I'm sorry. Kids watching, actually, kids, this ain't for you. So go home, go to sleep, do something. Basically, he lost his receiving duties to J.D. McKissick, who was supposed to sign to the Buffalo Bills, and he was like, you know what? Nah, I'm out. I'm going back to Washington, and stayed there. So that just shows you right there, he's not going to be involved in the fucking passing game. Even yesterday, fucking Washington in the preseason game, J.D. McKissick was doing all the fucking work. I think Antonio Gibson actually he did play. Antonio Gibson did play yesterday, bro, and had a fumble, bro. They took him out.
Now I can't say that's not his fault. But at the same time, that's just great defensive play because the guy was going down. He's nearly face down, planking on the ground, and the guy comes in and punches him.
Okay, so now I get that. I get that, but now this is the main reason why I'm bringing up the fumble thing. Last year, he was tied for most fumbles by running back, and he tied with Zeke with 6 fumbles, okay? So if you're telling me, by defense, that's the reason why that should happen, but he's already known for fucking doing that last year for having the most fumbles by a running back. You know what I mean? So it's like, bruh, they don't want you catching the ball, and then when you're touching the ball, you're fumbling the ball, bro. I think he's going to be lost in the sauce in that team, and anybody that picks him up, sorry, he's going to be a wash by like week 4 or 5, all right? Last year, in standard, he finished top 10 running back. I don't understand, like literally number 10. Don't understand how that happened, but won't happen again, especially with the pieces they have now. Brian Robinson showed yesterday he's going to be handling that goal line shit. J.D. McKissick is going to be handling... Yeah, exactly. J.D. McKissick is going to be handling receiving duties from the backfield. So what the fuck is he there? He's just a filler. So I'm not touching him. I don't care how bad I'm hurting for running backs. I'm going anywhere else. Fuck it. I get Devin Singletary over that nigga, bro. Fuck it. I cannot do that to myself. I cannot. All right, Kev, give me another running back you're avoiding.
Another running back? I just gave you 2. You want a third?
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. You already gave me 2? My bad. I forgot I started with you.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be it for our running backs. Now we're going to start off with our wide receivers to avoid. So let's start off with you, Corey. Give me one wide receiver you're going to avoid.
Amari Cooper.
Amari. That's his boy, by the way. Ex-Cowboy.
Ex-Cowboy. Didn't use him right, but whatever. Traded for a 5th-round draft pick. Which is crazy.
Which is crazy, yep.
He's still good, but this pretty much is a Sean Watson situation. He's going to be out to 6 to 8 games. He's not going to do shit until then. Because I don't know what the quarterback Jacoby Brissett, I guess, unless you trade for Garoppolo. And honestly, I don't think Watson's going to play at all this year. So that severely limits.
They trying to do a plea bargain?
I heard him. I just saw like a statement that he said he was sorry to all the people. It's like, oh, you fucked the hell, bro. So he's probably going to be out for the year.
So some of my things about Amari Cooper is...
They're probably going to be a running team, too.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I was going to go about. Situationally wise... Amari Cooper is not in a great situation. Obviously, at least for now, 6 weeks for Watson. It could be more. So you got Jacoby gonna fucking be passing the ball. He said it himself. Cleveland's gonna be more of a running team. They still have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So Jacoby Brissett, dump off. One player that they've been high about, meaning like, tabloids and whatever case may be on ESPN, saying that they're high on, what's the nigga name? I can't even say it. David Njoku. I don't even know why I was about to say DJ. Whatever. David Njoku, they said they were high on only because if Jacoby Brissett fucking plays, it's going to be a lot of check downs. It's going to be fucking, if it's not to the running back, it's going to be a check down to the tight end. And obviously, they paid this man to stay. They got rid of Austin Hooper. So they're like, all right, David Njoku, it might be that dude. So I even see that myself. another reason why I would be avoiding Amari Cooper. I think now where his ADP is, it's something that you may reconsider when it's like draft day. But at the end of the day, for me, I'm like, I don't want anything to do with an offense that is not going to, give the wide receivers the ball as much. His opportunities are going to be limited at that point. So I agree. I'm not touching that nigga.
Your whole game plan is the run game, and then you got a pass catching back on top of that who does good. So it's like, where in the world? Like, Cooper probably do put up like some Allen Robinson numbers from last year in Chicago, but like, I just don't see anything crazy. Like, there's too much hype around his name for no one to be there. I mean, obviously Deshaun Watson was a big enough name to be like, oh, all right, so Cooper, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you get Garoppolo, like you said, like, nah, I'm staying away from I'm staying away from Cooper as far as I can until like late rounds. And so he's like my wide receiver 3. It's a safe enough spot.
But if Garoppolo goes to Cleveland, I would highly consider fucking Amari Cooper. But until that happens, I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like literally right now, if they did that trade and got Garoppolo, he'd be a 1-year rental because I'm pretty sure he has like 1 year left, and they still owe the man like 20-something mil. So like whatever. All right. I'm gonna go with one wide receiver I'm gonna avoid. It's gonna be back to the Seattle Seahawks, DK Metcalf. Mm-hmm. Like I said before, I'm avoiding anything that has to do with the Seahawks offense. I want nobody from there. Do we really trust Drew Lock? I don't think any of us do. Okay, not one of us. For all we know, he might get traded, which I would hope it happens for him. So, like, if you were to, pick him up to stash just to make sure, like, try to see what happens during the season to see if he gets traded to an actually more decent team where he could make some noise, then okay. But at that point, like, he better be just, like, some random option that you have that you can stash. Because if you don't have any spot fillers to replace him, yeah, that's crazy. And then his ADP has him going like 6th round, 7th round. That's crazy to me. Like, if you told me 10th, 11th, then maybe it'd be a different story. But it's 7th round for a guy on that offense that's probably going to be the worst in the NFL. Not for me. Not for me at all. All right, Kev, give me a wide receiver you're avoiding.
My God, Tyler Lockett.
We're going back to the Seattle Seahawks. Yep.
But yeah, it needs to be said too, because Tyler Lockett was fantasy, efficient. Like, Tyler Lockett, when all the years Russell was there, was a big name too, alongside with DK Metcalf. Like, these guys getting drafted like a round apart. But now it saddens my heart. But like, I just can't do it. I just couldn't do it at his current ADP with knowing that.
It saddens my heart. It saddens my heart. This nigga got no heart. Don't listen to him, bro. This nigga got no heart.
Oh man, bro. It's not in Seattle, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you're right. I'm along with you on that, bro. I'm along with you.
Maybe they'll trade him, hopefully. Right?
That's the only thing I'm hoping for, that they trade him. So that's why I feel like if you do draft him, he'd just be a stash just in case they do end up trading him. That's the only reasonable explanation I would see you drafting DK. Only reason why. I wouldn't hope that you would draft him and thinking, yo, I'm putting him at my wide receiver too. Like, nigga, what? Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh?
But I just want to add a thing. Like, this is one of the reasons why I wouldn't, like, I'm not high on Tyler Lockett, because Geno Smith, if you saw the preseason game, like, now don't get me wrong, Geno Smith and Drew Lock didn't do bad. They didn't do terrible, but they did struggle to get the offensive going, especially in the run game too. But Kenneth Walker looked sharp. But the fact that Geno is also mobile also is going to cut into, targets. Not that he's going to take off every time, but he's not a dumb quarterback either. Shit as a fan. Like, it doesn't take much for a mobile quarterback to run. Is he a scrambler? No, but mobile. So once that pocket collapses or there's something there, he's just going to take off.
Take off!
2, Drew Lock apparently isn't a good second option reader. Whatever. I read this in the magazine. Like, yeah, he struggles in that department. So That means if that's the truth, then that doesn't look good for Tyler Lockett because he's the second option behind DK Metcalf. I mean, you can go however you want between the check down and then the tight end Noah Fant. But it's clearly anyway. It's clear that Pete Carroll wants to run the ball, no matter what. He's been running the ball, since Chris Carson days. So he keeps drafting running backs every 2 years or something like that. But it's just doesn't look good for Tyler Lockett. DK Metcalf, whatever. He might just get a hurt in numbers, but at least he's going to get the majority of the targets because he's the number one compared to the number two, who's been productive, just as productive as Metcalf. That's Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon right there, and wide receiver in Seattle.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, yeah, DK would probably be the number one, but it's too much of a question mark for any of that to happen for me. And, once again, Seattle Seahawks offense, it's going to be trash. All right, see, give me another wide receiver you're going to avoid, Corey.
Luke Corbett.
Deontay Johnson.
D. Johnson. I guess this goes hand in hand with your whole Mitchell Trubisky thing.
I just don't trust the quarterbacks there right now.
I mean, you like Kenny Pickett.
I do like Kenny Pickett, though. But by the time Kenny Pickett starts, it might be too late in the season.
Yeah, because then
I like Deontay Johnson.
You said what?
Huh?
I'm on the opposite end. I like Deontay Johnson.
I like Deontay Johnson. I don't like his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
Yeah, if it's Trubisky.
I don't think Trubisky's better than Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah.
Even washed up Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah.
So I feel like his numbers are gonna take a hit.
So
they got a lot of fucking. They always, since forever, they always had so much talent in wide receiver.
Yeah, so, you're right.
I feel like Claypool's due to
a decent season at least.
Yeah, I feel like they're all him and Pick. I like Pickens too a lot. I don't know.
Shout out my dude George Pickens. He looked good yesterday, bro. He looked real good.
They always get these nasty ass wide receivers, man.
Yeah. Seriously.
Shout out Martavis.
But they give an extension, so they better use them. Wasting all that money for.
You remember that nigga too?
So
he said shout out to Martavis Bryant. Remember that nigga?
Oh, he was a monster. Man.
He was a monster. They always had talent. You're right. Wide receiver, they always did.
Why was he kicked out? He got suspended for the league for a year, right? And then that was pretty much it.
And that was pretty much it. But, I mean, you're right. They always had talent at the wide receiver end, and it would always depend on who the quarterback was. But obviously they had fucking Ben Roethlisberger over a decade, so, that was always good for them. But now at this point with the situational quarterback, depending if it's Trubisky or Kenny Pickens who ends up
they still have Mason Rudolph.
Picking it up.
Keep Rudolph, and if they keep Rudolph, he might be the number two.
The number two rather than Pickett, right?
Yeah.
You never know. My thing is, I didn't like Deontay Johnson until they finally gave him that extension, which happened last week. So it was just crazy to me.
What about the extension? You think they liked him before?
I thought they were just like, yo, we got Pickens, we still like Claypool. Like, you could play for us, but next year, unless you show us out now, next year you can walk. You know what I mean?
I kind of like that, though. That's usually when players do their best.
True, but so that means when they sign him 2 extra years that it's not going to be his best?
Probably not. He got paid.
Well, only for 2 extra years, but yeah, I get it. My thing is, I mean, I like Deontay Johnson as a wide receiver.
Nice.
I just don't like his situation. Kev, I understand your point on how, him being a great talent, but can you disagree the fact that the quarterback situation is going to probably, put a damper on his productivity? Sheesh, I can't even talk.
But my ether for you is Trubisky did good with Allen Robinson.
Define good.
Nah. I like Allen Robinson. I like Johnson way better than Allen Robinson. What happened?
Define good. He had an 80 catch year with 1,000 yards, something like that. That was cool to everybody.
Yeah, and had like 7 touchdowns or something.
It was nowhere near Jaguars years.
No, but.
And that was with Blake Bortles.
Yeah, that was with Blake Bortles.
Yeah. Because Trubisky over here,
I like Trubisky. I'll give him that.
He's mobile.
I'll give him something like a doubt, because or benefit of doubt, because he Nagy or whatever the coach was.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't think he's that. Special, man.
So 2018.
Got drafted for Watson and Mahomes, bro.
2018. Trubisky, I think that was his best year. He had over 3,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. And that was the year I think that was the year Allen Robinson joined the team, and he did great. The following year, 2019, he had 70 touchdowns, 10. So my thing is, he did good with Allen Robinson, and you're saying that you think Deontay Johnson is better than Allen Robinson? In their prime, though. Yeah, like, Allen Robinson right now is not in his prime anymore.
Allen Robinson's going to remind y'all this year, man.
I think he's still good. I don't think he's in his prime anymore.
Anything away from Allen Robinson, because Allen Robinson was
Allen Robinson was
short
Randy Moss. He was Baby Moss in the Jaguars.
I will never take that away from Allen Robinson, but they cut his career short, just like when they put Moss on the Raiders and the Niners. Like, they cut his career short. But Deontay Johnson is just an all-around talent. Like, everything he does, he can run after the catch. He's good with the toe drag swag and the back shoulder fades. Like, he's the real deal. Like, he could be Allen Robinson 2.0. Deontay Johnson. Now it's up to Trubisky whether he's gonna put his trust in his arm instead of his legs and actually just deliver the ball to Deontay Johnson. Because obviously Ben Roethlisberger is a veteran. He's been doing it for years. He's been throwing to guys like Plaxico Burress and stuff like that. So, like, he has no problem with throwing those back shoulder fades, those one-on-ones and everything. But, like, it'd be a damn shame if Deontay Johnson couldn't reach his 2019 stats. Or even 2020. 20 had 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. I'd be damned if Trubisky couldn't give him that.
Okay, so now here's my thing. Trubisky, his best years with Allen Robinson seems to be 2019 and 2020, all right? So 2019, Allen Robinson ended up having about 1,100 yards, a little over 1,100 yards, and 7 touchdowns. 2020, he had 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. So don't you think that should probably be the ceiling for Deontay Johnson? 7 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, 1,200 yards.
That's a good year.
Yeah, and I gave you. I said I'll be damned if you couldn't reach the 2020. Last year he had 1,108 touchdowns. So
I think if Deontay Johnson had
he had 907.
If Deontay Johnson had like a good quarterback, he'd be up there with Stephon Diggs to me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%.
No doubt, his talent is ridiculous.
I like him, but I just don't trust his quarterback.
I mean, what if Pickett ends up coming in and then fucking is thrashing shit with fucking Deontay Johnson?
I can see that happening, but that wouldn't happen until like later.
Yeah, I mean, unless fucking Trubisky starts choking really bad the first 3 weeks.
But then I feel like they go to Rudolph. Because why else is Rudolph on the fucking team? Why is he still in? After Garrett hit him in the head with the helmet, they should have cut him.
They should have cut him after Garrett fucking hit him in the head with the helmet.
I'm going to bring in Mitchell Trubisky, and then I'm going to draft the quarterback, knowing that you have Mason Rudolph behind you.
Hate that guy.
I mean,
you want to make a case for being number 2 in the depth chart? Say it's a QB competition?
That's crazy to me.
All right, going to move it along. I'm going to give you one more wide receiver to avoid. It's going to be Tyreek Hill. So there's a little bit of a hot take. Obviously, I think one thing we can all agree on is production as it was with KC is going to be a bit of a fall off, obviously, with the Dolphins. Because Tua versus Mahomes, I don't have to say much. Is he worth his ADP? Right now, he's probably going off about, like, wide receiver 6. Like, dude, like, that's high. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't do it unless he fell to me at a steal price, like the turnaround on 2nd and 3rd. Then like maybe I'd consider that, but I would have to avoid him because most likely he's not going to be there because everybody likes to draft on names and they see Tyreek Hill. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Tyreek Hill. Tua and Waddle already have a chemistry, so now what's his name? Tyreek Hill has to come in and, be part of that also. Obviously, your name is Tua. You're a quarterback in the NFL. You got Tyreek Hill on your fucking team. You know you can't forget about Tyreek Hill. You know you got him. And Tyreek Hill could be that difference on making him better than he has been because Tyreek Hill may be able to bail him out, give him a fucking 15-yard curl, and the motherfucker's out for 70 yards, turn into a touchdown. So he may be able to bail Tua, but at the end of the day, like, how often is that going to happen? At least not in this season. I don't see him doing that great. Maybe they build one more year of chemistry after this season. Maybe next season we can see something more of Tyreek Hill. But for this season, I think I have to avoid him for where he's going. And like I said, if he could drop, but it's Tyreek Hill, anybody's going to draft him because of his fucking name. Y'all got anything to add on that?
I agree. But I was still.
It's hard to hype up. Yeah. It's hard to hype Hill, but I personally, I think he's gonna do something. Whether even if next year he's like wide receiver 10 to 15 or something like that. But I believe in Mike McDaniels more than I'd say I believe in Tua. Like I couldn't care less about the Tua Tariq Hill connection. Like obviously when there's connection or there's chemistry, and if you could throw the ball accurate enough and far enough to meet Tariq Hill's speed, and sure. But I think Mike McDaniel's going to cook up something crazy. And I can't say he's going to go off because, like I said, you got Jalen Waddle over there. So why wouldn't he? And you got all those guys, Raheem Mostert and Edmonds. So you know he's trying to cook up some type of speed thing going on. And
they got a whole lot of it.
Who knows? Yeah, and he could run the ball. So, like, he's a run. I think he's a run first oriented coach too. So, sure, Tariq Hill's stats is definitely gonna take a dent. If you could get him later in the second, early third, I think that'd be better. I can see a world where
he's like pretty much the same as he was like the last couple of years.
Yeah, but I don't think this first year with the team that's gonna happen.
I think if it's any year, it would happen to be the first year.
I don't know.
Like this is the first time he's playing with like a good wide receiver. Oh. Dumbass. Fuck. But this is the first time he's playing with like a good wide receiver opposite of him, who's going to attract some attention from away from him.
Try to at least, but they know Tyreek Hill's gonna fucking outrun any
if
fucking.
If you play in that team, you're forced to play cover 2 at all times, pretty much. So their running game could be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why I'm really high on Chase Edmonds.
But this is what I'm saying because like look at what they did with Debo last year. That's Mike McDaniel who was there.
Yeah, but I mean,
you don't think he's gonna do the same thing with Tariq Hill?
I mean,
he can have something good in the run
some
game.
Reverses, yeah.
Maybe have the run game,
but not like the up the tackle shit.
Like, I think he's gonna throw Tariq Hill in the backfield and do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying, like sweeps and reverses.
He did that in KC too.
It's interesting. Like that's the part that's one I want to see. I want to see if that's going to be part of the element in the offense, like Tariq Hill taking handoffs and doing crazy stuff like that, or end arounds and like you said, reverses and things like that. See how that goes.
Yeah, I mean,
like use Debo.
So right now, he falls to you early second round. You picking him up or no, Corey? Early second round. Like say you got the 12th pick and it's back to back. Would you getting him?
Because I see like when I do that, I always see like Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb there still. So I will go with them over him.
But if he was to fall second, like late second, early third,
yeah. I mean, I would. It won't be a bad pick.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be the production that you would think that he had in KC.
You just have to have your expectations in check.
At that point,
if I'm taking him,
because it's like Stephon Diggs versus Tariq Hill.
I think that's like the lowest level wide receiver 1 I would feel comfortable with.
I see that, but my thing is like if I have that turnaround pick, bro, I can't do it. Because you still got like CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, whatever.
Yeah,
you know
I probably wouldn't because then I was try to get Jalen Waddle if I was
at that point.
Yeah,
you know. All right, Kev, give me your
Waddle.
Kev, give me your last wide receiver to avoid.
Now it's not like because the word avoid always sounds bad because like when you're avoiding somebody, you picture somebody like hanging in a bush or you see somebody walking on the
Who's man's? Who's man's? Who's man's?
How about the bushes?
How about the bushes?
Adam Thielen is the player to avoid for me.
Hooked on the
I just feel like Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, a young Justin Jefferson. You get your tight end back, and then you got a KJ Osborne playing the slot. I just don't see them actually wanting to move the ball to get it to Adam Thielen. Now, goal line situation, sure, because they already said that during this offseason, saying that he looks good in the red zone and they're getting plenty of targets to Adam Thielen. So it could be very possible because he has hands. Like in what other situation would you throw the ball to somebody who has hands? Red zone, maybe third and short because you need to get the first down, But I think the tight end and KJ Osborne cut into Thielen's target share. And then after that, it's how efficient Dalvin Cook is on the goal line. And that's it for me. Obviously, Justin Jefferson probably poised for another big year. He's the wide receiver number 2 in the year. So, I don't know. 10 touchdowns is a lot, like how we keep throwing those names around Connor Harris for him to do. And, he wasn't even, crazy involved in the passing game. But that's my guy.
So, okay,
He only came a long way.
So the only reason why I would disagree with that is only because I feel like where you would be drafting him at this point, he would be your wide receiver 3 or 4, okay? Depending obviously on how you draft, but he'd probably be your wide receiver 3 or 4. I agree to avoid him as if he was going to be your wide receiver 2, but going along everything, I don't think he would.
Depending on touchdowns.
Yeah, so he is really touchdown dependent because they love to give it to him in the red zone. So that means at the end of the day, the man can have 50 yards, but can have 2 touchdowns because they were in the red zone scenario where the man corner end zone, boom, you know what I mean, back shoulder fade, boom. Because obviously, yes, he's probably on the back end of his career at this point now, but the man had 10 touchdowns. Am I going to say that he's going to have 10 touchdowns again next season? Probably not, but as long as they're still targeting him in the red zone, that's still an opportunity that I'm willing to take, He had 726 yards last year. He was targeted 95, which is real good. 95 times, that's real good. So I can't say nah, he's gonna suck or he's not worth it. As a wide receiver 3, bro, he's definitely a flex option, and especially if you play by matchups, So
yeah, most definitely.
I'm over here looking at his game log from last year. He didn't play 4 games. He got hurt in 2 of them, so he didn't get to finish 2 games. So that's 6 games, basically, he didn't get to actually play. So minus those 6 games, this was his stat line, those other games, those other than the 6 games that he played. 21, week 1. 9, week 2. 11, week 3. Week 4 and 5, he didn't do good. It was 4 points. Then he came back week 6, 18 points. Week 8, 13. Week 9 and 10, he had 6 points. Week 11, he had 14. Week 12, he had 18. So, you know what I mean? As a flex option, that is pretty fucking good. You got to play those matchups. Because those 2 games in week 4 and 5, he played teams like Cleveland and Detroit, which I don't even know how Detroit ended up beating fucking Minnesota, but that's Minnesota for you. He did bad with only 4. Those are his best. His worst games that his whole season last year. Okay, and then other than that, he's getting 6 points or higher as a flex option, bro. If a man could get me 8 points or higher as a flex option, I cannot be mad about that. You know what I mean? Because those 8 points mean there was potential to have more. Because if he had a touchdown, it would have been more, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get why you want to avoid him, but I feel like at his current pricing, bro, at wide receiver 3 or 4, I don't feel like you should. But
yeah, I mean, sure, but you know, who knows? Like, if you can draft, if you know how to draft, like how last year when Jamar Chase came about, you know, because I was reading something saying that like players that were like under the radar who like really and did like superb that year and nobody knew about it because they all got drafted after the 7th round, and Jamar Chase was one of them. Like, if you know how to draft, like, I'm trying to throw a good name out there that, like, who could probably be explosive and could sneak down there and like, oh, you got gold. Like, Kenneth Walker could be one, but I'd rather use somebody else because Seattle is just already, you know, in a hole that they dug themselves. But I don't have a name yet. But unless you can find a Jamar Chase, 7th round Jamar Chase, 8th round Jamar Chase, then you'll be all right with Thielen.
yeah. So, I mean, everybody's going to have their mixed options about that, so I get that.
Maybe like Treylon Burks or something, but still, like, if you can put up 10 touchdowns again, you're good with Adam Thielen.
Yeah, right. Well, all right. So those are our players we're going to avoid. Once again, I hope y'all appreciate the episode. If y'all did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. That's going to be it for the Fantasy Blitz Show. Your boy Frankie J, Corey, little brother Kev. Y'all have a good one. Peace.